Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time with us, my name's Elena, and today I apologize in advance if this audio is a mess because I really have to get it all in one take because I am staying with my parents over the summer, and I don't really need them to know that I spend this much time making Sims and uploading them to YouTube. Like, that's not something that I'm interested in sharing with them. So they're supposed to both get home from work in about an hour and a half. And as you may have already seen, this video is an hour long, so let's get into it. This is the cast of Sabrina the Teenage... Nope, not Sabrina the Teenage Witch. The cast of Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. So, the newer version that has been made by Netflix, also by the producers of Riverdale, so it has that kind of vibe to it. It is not at all similar to the 90s version, which was kind of a fun sitcom, but it is apparently more faithful to the original comics, which were part of the Archie Comics universe. I don't know anything about that because I have never read a comic book all the way through in my life. So, but yes. So this is a show that is, I kind of want to call it a guilty pleasure, but actually really I love it. Like, I think that it's genuinely good. Or at least the first season I unabashedly thought was really good. The second season I have some qualms about, but we'll get into that. Anyway, the process you may have noticed. Probably nobody noticed, but you may have noticed that I haven't uploaded in forever. This was partially because I was trying to finish my exams and everything, and partially because I have been working on some channel-related things. I haven't been sure how I want to incorporate custom content, because I've gotten a few comments to that effect of, like, this would be cooler with custom content, or this would be more fun with custom content, or you can find, like, this outfit in custom content like on the Sims resource or something like that. And we'll get more into this later when I'm actually applying the custom content to everybody, but I was just trying to figure out a way to include that on my channel that wouldn't be crazy time intensive and horrible for my computer. So I think I figured out a system. You'll have to tell me if it works or not. But please appreciate this video because I have never spent so long on any single, like, Sims family in my entire life. I was originally going to make and upload two different, like, households of Sabrina characters. The second one was going to have kind of like the witchy characters. This was supposed to be like the main squad plus the human sidekicks, and then I was going to add the witch sidekicks, like, in a second household, so they would have Michelle Gomez. I forget what her character's name is, but it doesn't matter because it's just Michelle Gomez. And then the Weird Sisters, who are, God, my absolute favorite. I love them so much. And I found, like, reference photos for them and everything, but just the process of making this household was so labor intensive that I don't know if I want to. Like, I still really want to, but I don't know if I will. Does that make sense? Sorry, the grandfather clock is going off. Don't have time to cut that out. Anyway, so we're starting on Sabrina. Obviously, I gave her the collector trait because I thought that would enable some, like, witchiness in the gameplay. I know that this video is coming out just a couple days after they announced the Magic Pack, which is coming out in the fall. Rest assured that I will be returning to this household and updating them once we do have that pack because, oh my god, I'm shitting myself with excitement about it. The mermaids, first of all, we're going to make an H2O household, and then we're getting Pride stuff, which is great and cool, and I love that. I can also download CC for that, but, like, I appreciate Maxis making the effort. And then we're getting mermaids, and then we're gonna get witches, and, like, I know some people don't like unrealistic gameplay, but my little heart, Like, I've never felt so close to my childhood dream of becoming a fairy witch mermaid in my entire life. So, okay, for Sabrina's general self, I made her cheerful and, like, bookish because those are really just two things that she is. Big nerd, and she's really, like, perky and peppy, which is part of what's so interesting about her character, but we'll get to that. So for her everyday outfit, I made it kind of like a school outfit. I know that she never wears anything precisely like that, but she does wear a lot of those, like, plaid, like, pleated skirts, very, like, schoolgirl-esque, and then I gave her a leather jacket because she does wear a leather jacket at one point, and I really like that look. So this outfit, for the formal wear, I kind of took my inspiration from the scene. I mean, spoilers, but you're watching an entire hour-long video of, like, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina content, so I'm going to assume that you've already seen the series. But spoilers for the end of season 2, when she goes to that ball and they, like, play the trick on the devil Season 2 is wild. I was going for that outfit, for the formal outfit. Athletic, I don't know. It doesn't matter. But I also gave her, this hair is actually pretty close to Sabrina-y, but like the Sabrina hair, the custom content Sabrina hair really puts it over the top, and you'll see that later. The version of her that I'm kind of making is supposed to be a little bit more the like season 2, we're evil, not evil, but like we're kind of dark now. We're officially a witch, like something shady's going on. These pajamas I think are based off of scenes that she really has with those pajamas. That would have been another good place for CC, because I know that they have cute pajama sets like made for women, but unfortunately Maxis did not make any like fun like button-up pajama sets for The Sims. For the party outfit I went with, for all the characters, I mean obviously not like the adult characters, but for all the youths, I put them in the outfits that they wear to like the dance in season 2. Seemed right. Swimwear also doesn't super matter. Sabrina's like actually fairly easy to dress because she has such a consistent color scheme. Like there's a part in season 2 where she has, she's like not herself. She's like the Mandrake version of herself, and she wears blue, and you immediately know that something's wrong because she puts on blue. Because all she ever wears is like red and black, and it's amazing. And like at first it's really subtle, like in season 1 it's kind of this subtle coating of like witchiness, and then it gets more and more like direct, and I love it. But anyway, Sabrina is, I know I'm going to talk more about Sabrina as we go into Hilda, but like don't judge me for that. Sabrina is one of my like favorite teen female characters of all time, because I know some people think she's kind of like Mary Sue-ish, and she does like the virtue signaling, as my friend Grace puts it, where she's like she just like says things that are like kind of feminist, so you like know she's supposed to be one of the good guys. But the thing that I actually really like about that is she has that combination of like the darkness that you're equally rooting for, I think, like the good part of her and the like dark part of her the entire time. And like there's some ways that her like that good Sabrina feels almost a little fake, if that makes sense. So she feels like a lot of the things she says are just kind of like, you know, like young feminist sound bites, which of course, you know, she's a teenager, so she's not like going to be a revolutionary theorist or whatever, but you kind of get that sense that it's like this is who she wants to be, but there's also a part of her that's not like being represented, like it's a little bit of a facade. And I like my favorite thing about her, I think, besides the fact that she has like this, they truly keep you on the fence about whether or not you want her to be dark or light the entire time. She has this like, she feels like very proprietary of everybody, like all her friends. She like interferes in their lives in ways that they don't really ask for, just because she's like, well, I can do it, so like why wouldn't I? I don't know. I love her. Okay, Hilda, also very good, very cute. Fun fact, which I didn't know until I started researching for this video, she's played by the woman who did like Pam, who's I think her name was Summer in the UK version of The Office, but she was UK Pam, and she was so cute and amazing in that, and had kind of this like sad puppy eye, like a little bit like kick me, I'm already on the ground kind of a vibe to her. And then she brings the same game to Hilda, where she's like clearly very powerful and capable, but she just has that like, oh, I don't know, like it seems that, you know, she has kind of that like, woe is me, this is the way that it's always been kind of vibe to her. I gave her the soulmate aspiration just because like, I don't know. It's hard to give them witchy aspirations right now. When we get the magic pack, that'll change. But so the soulmate aspiration I kind of gave her because she doesn't have that kind of like lonely, she is motivated to like find somebody outside of the house, because she knows that when she's just in the house with Zelda and everybody, she's kind of overshadowed and overpowered. And then cheerful, because she is a foodie, because she makes food all the time, and family oriented. She and Zelda both have that trait. Another good thing that I love about them is that they definitely both have that trait. I don't know what I was doing during this part of the video. Am I getting a snack? Anyway. So her and Zelda just both have extremely different takes on that, like family orientedness. Like for Hilda, she's super protective and like loving and will feed everybody as soon as they walk in the door, and Zelda's like, I'll murder somebody for you, I'll do that. There's the leather jacket. My girl. Yeah. I think I go back and forth a lot in this video. Apologies in advance. I usually try not to, but couldn't help it. So Hilda was actually a lot more difficult to make the face for. One thing is I ended up making her, I think, a lot heavier as a sim than she is in real life. I tried to like balance it out. But kind of what ended up happening is that the part of what makes Hilda's face look so Hilda-y is that she does have, like, kind of chubby cheeks, and she has a double chin, and that's, like, part of what makes her so recognizable. The same way that, like, the red lip or the square, the square jaw makes Zelda recognizable immediately. It was so easy to make her. But with Hilda's face, like, I needed her to have that, like, the double chin. And I tried to find, like, a custom content for that, a mod for that, anything. There's not really anything. I did find that people were mad about double chins in The Sims 3, though, so that's fun. But yeah, so I tried to keep her also in a lot of, like, reds and blacks, because that's what she wears generally, but in a little bit more of, like, the cheerful... She wears a lot of florals. Homegirl wears so many florals. For all of their first outfits, except for Theo, I based it off of their, like, promo pictures. They didn't shoot new promo pictures or, like, release new promo pictures for season 2, which is annoying, because it's impossible to get good screenshots of this show because it is lit so fucking dark. Like, I was very... not mad or anything, but... God, can we please get some good, like, just glamour shots of all the cast so that I can make them into Sims? Why did they not anticipate this being a thing? Yeah, see, here's me. I was trying to, like, get the cheeks right and the chin, but, like, I don't know. So, anyway. Hilda, very cute. Another very good character. I didn't feel like I loved her quite as much in season 2 as I did in season 1, just because they didn't give her as much room to breathe. I don't know. Zelda, I would die for her. She's so, not her as a person, because I think she's kind of shitty, but, like, as a character, she's so complicated and good, and, like, that's part of why Sabrina is, like, not quite a guilty pleasure for me, is because it just, like, really digs into, like, here's a bunch of women who are dark, and do dark things, like, unforgivable things that you can't excuse, all that, like, ugh, it's so good. So, Zelda, another thing is that Hilda's actress she hasn't done, like, a lot that there's great photos for recently, so I had a hard time making her face right, but I think I did an okay job in the end. Anyway, so Zelda's face was actually shockingly easy, because once you get the kind of hooded eyes, and, because she has, like, hooded eyelids, and then she has a very square jaw, and once you get those two things in place, like, she's just Zelda right away. I gave her the, like, successful family trait, because that's exactly correct for her, or the aspiration, because that's it, that's all she cares about, is, like, making sure that her family is successful, and specifically just, like, the line of Spellmans. I don't know. Love her. She's, like, again, she has that, like, I gave her the same family-oriented trait, because she really is, but in that sense of, like, I'll do anything for you to succeed. She's a Slytherin. She's a big ol' Slytherin. I gave her self-assured, because she really is, and then ambitious, because, again, she really is. The actress that plays her, I can't remember her name, but she's, like, just this class. You see her in a ton of, I think, BBC stuff. I think I saw her in an episode of Miss Fisher's Murder Mysteries that I was watching last night with my parents. Look, times are desperate. But she's fantastic, obviously, and Zelda just has this, like, kick-ass, like, dark, just unabashedness to her. She's like, yeah, I'll play along with whatever, as long as it gets me what I want. She really has her internal compass. Oh my god, my neighbor just started mowing his lawn again. Sometimes when he feels passive-aggressive, he mows our lawn too, just to, like, tell us that he thinks it's too long. Sorry if you can hear that. But again, one take. We're doing it. So, Zelda, fascinating and amazing and wonderful. She was actually pretty easy to dress as well. The CC version of her was kind of hard to get right. But, she just has that super clear, like, kind of vintage business bitch, look to her. You know how it's, like, hard... I've said this before, but it's a lot easier to make Sims that have, like, distinctive facial features. Oh, yeah, I had to download the Unlocked Outfits lady so that everybody could have whatever outfits they wanted. That actually... We'll get into that with Theo, but I might have made a mistake, but it's fine. So Zelda just had that, like... So she's wearing one of the politician outfits, I think, from Get to Work. But she's very, like, cutthroat and loyal. But she does have an incredibly strong set of values, but they're, like, strong in the sense that, I don't know, they're just not the values that you would expect her to have. Like, when she thinks that Sabrina's making a wrong decision, even though she would lay down her life for Sabrina any time of the day, anywhere, she also has a very specific vision for how Sabrina's life should go, and so she really, like, drives after that. It's great. And then, like, Hilda also has that same darkness, but it's in almost like a... Like, it comes from such a protective instinct that, like, you don't hold it against her, whereas with Zelda, it comes from this, like, not just self-preservation, but, like, she wants to, like, move herself and her family forward in any way possible, which is just, like, but she also gets, like, a lot of detailed, even when she does things that are right, you're like, I don't know, is that, like, what I wanted her to do? It's like, on this show, people make all these choices. I love this hat for her, by the way. God bless whichever pack we got that hat in. This, I tried to give her, like, a rich lady tennis outfit. I don't know, it ends up kind of ugly, but it's fine. But no, so Zelda, just the way that this show does, like, women who want things very badly, and that is the entire thing that drives the story forward. Except, I mean, there's obviously, like, the outside force of, like, Satan wants Sabrina so that he can, like, take over the whatever. I don't give a shit about him. But there's a reason he's not in this cast video, I'm just saying. But he's like a side note, and all of the other characters are, like, the main female characters are moving things forward because they just, like, want something so badly. So for Sabrina, it's to, like, be the person that she wants to be, and for Zelda, it's for the entire family to be the people that she wants them to be. And it's just, like, these kind of, like, ugh. I know it's not, like, a great feminist work of literature, but I just really love that part of this show, that it's so centered on, like, here's these really morally gray female characters, and here's what they want, and here's how far they're willing to go to get it. And I just, this show asks a lot of interesting questions about power, but it centers women with the question of, like, what would you do if you had so much power that you could do anything? What would that change about you? What would that mean about humanity? What would that mean about the world? Like, would you question where that power came from? All those things. But they like, ask those questions with female characters. And I just love it so much. Like, ugh. I unironically love this show. It's not a guilty pleasure. I don't give a shit. The writing can sometimes be a little, like, but I still stand by, like, after season 1, I think season 1 was, like, a perfect season of television. Season 2 went off the rails a couple times, in ways that were funny. Thankfully, they happened with storylines that I don't really care about that much, so it didn't bother me. But the werewolf episode, you know the episode I'm talking about where Nick Scratch is, like, familiar who is a werewolf? They never really get into that. And raised him, so is basically his mother, but is also in love with him, to the point where when she sees Sabrina trying to fuck, she's like, oh, we can't have that. I should be the only one fucking my... You know? It was not cute. That whole episode was a little rough. Okay, Ambrose, another character I would die for. I'm convinced that this actor, I don't remember what his name is, I don't remember anybody's names from this cast, is just one of the most beautiful people I've ever seen in my entire life. You know what I mean? Like, you just look at his face and you're like, maybe God does love us and want us to be happy. He just, And he's pan, which I love. Like, give me more of that. He does kind of fall into the, like, slutty free love, whatever, you know, oh, what's a label kind of archetype, which is not my favorite, not gonna lie, but I like the rest of his character so much that, like, I don't care, you know? His boyfriend was so boring. Can I just say, that was one of those storylines that I was like, oh, thank God. He does die. He gets a boyfriend in season 1, the boyfriend dies in season 2, and God bless. Like, that was the least interesting character in the entire world. Ambrose he's dynamic and great, and he deserves much better than, like, Wonder Bread McGee. What was it? His name was Luke. Luke, of all the things. Seriously. Okay, I made Ambrose, I gave him the friend of the world aspiration just because I wanted to be sad, because the entire season 1, he's, like, trying to get out of the house. Like, all he wants is to interact with other people and, like, get access to the mortal world. Or not the mortal world, but, like, the witchy world, because he's trapped in the house because he, again, he wanted to, like, belong and be in a group of people that cared about him so badly that he, like, tried to blow up the Vatican. Amazing. So he just has this, like, deep need to be loved and liked and useful. So I gave him friend of the world. And then he's romantic because, I mean, he actually really only gets with, I guess he does have an orgy with all the weird sisters and Nick Scratch. So there's that. It's kind of implied that he slept with Dorian, and he did have a boyfriend, but really he's not all that, but he is very, like, flirtatious and all those things. So I also gave him bookish because I think that's what he and Sabrina have in common. He's very much like the library person. He's like the Giles of Sabrina. And then, this city living outfit, I actually kept this. Like, there's a couple outfits that I kept from, like, just the game that I didn't use CC for, and that's one of them, because I really couldn't find anything better than that CC-wise to match his outfit, because he just has this, like, vague kimono robe thing over his, like, pajamas. I don't know, but I do love him. Yeah, he's just a hottie, and he's great, and I also gave him outgoing, because he is very outgoing. He has that, like, social climber thing, kind of, from Zelda, like, he wants to be in the inner circle, but he also, I think he has more, like, warmth to him, where Zelda will do whatever it takes to be where power is and where decisions are being made. And Ambrose, like, he wants to be there to make sure, he wants to be there because he wants to know what's happening and he wants to belong, but he's not willing to, like, hurt people to do it necessarily, because he does, like, skip out of the, like, weird, skull and crossbones, like, men's rights meeting, kind of. That was a storyline that I kind of liked, that they were, like, competing for the attention of the anti-pope. I thought that was fun, but I didn't really love the whole, like, dog bark, my apologies, the storyline that they had with, like, that secret society. I don't know. The secret society thing always felt a little bit unnecessary. I think that the guy having his own doctrine would have been enough. That's beside the point. Anyway, love Ambrose. I made Salem, because, of course, you gotta make Salem. I did actually reference red carpet photos. I wasn't about to just give you, like, a bland black cat. No. Right color of eyes, right shape of head, right markings. I'm good, okay? I'm not some kind of slob that would just give you a not detailed cat. Someday I'll make my own cat in The Sims. God, my dogs keep barking, and it makes me paranoid that somebody's coming home and they're going to hear me doing this, but it's fine. I forget what traits I gave Salem. I think they're ones that, like, make him really independent, because let's be real here, you do not see him, like, most of the time. He's important, like, once in season 1, and he's important again once in season 2. And I know that it doesn't fit the tone of the show to have, like, the cat that, like, is sassy and talks back to you or whatever. Like, he's basically Tom from the Parks and Rec, but just as a cat. So I know it doesn't quite fit to have, like a talking snarky cat in this show, but I kind of wish that they had him talk anyways, because he just really, Salem is such a side note most of the time, when he was, like, an important part of the Sabrina show, the 90s one. But of course I can't just do whatever I want. I had to re-download. What am I checking on? I'm a bad editor. Like, I'm not great at voiceovers. I'm pretty good at making Sims, but I am a god-awful editor. Anyway, had to add the all outfits lady, and I just ended up making that Sim that I downloaded from the gallery into Theo Putnam. Oh, this is cute. Which, I love being a great editor, and I make such good videos, and I know that you love to watch that. Okay. So I made Theo out of the shell of that Sim, because I just didn't want to have to worry about, like, changing the career outfits or whatever. So technically, if you download this family and play with them, Theo has, like, completed every single career, even though he is a teenager. But it's fine. Don't worry about it. I don't know what to do with that. I do think that Theo is the best and should have superpowers, so I guess that's me giving those to him. Okay, Harvey. Does anybody care about Harvey? I know somebody's going to be mad about that, but I think he was an interesting device for Sabrina in season 1. I thought that the whole storyline with his older brother coming back and him being like, I don't ever want to see you again. Like, I think Sabrina getting that pushback of, like, your witch thing freaks me out, and I really hate what you did with it to my family and to me. Like, because I think that's one of the first times that she uses her power, and it's, like, horrifying, and it was a huge mistake, and you know that. Like, that, I think, the whole moment where she, like, cuts somebody's throat, and they just, like, have you watch, like, innocent little, like, blonde, cutesy Sabrina, like, just slit somebody's throat on screen, that part is amazing. And then when you see, like, the resurrected brother and you realize that she did something horribly wrong because she believed in her own power too much and, like, felt like she could fix things to an extent that was dangerous. That, amazing storyline. Great. Loved it. Love her. Harvey, they do an okay job, I think, of, like, fleshing him out into, like, a real person. I gave him the soulmate aspiration because, like, him and Sabrina break up, and, like, the next episode he's dating Roz, so what's up with that? Clearly your boy wants a girlfriend real bad. And then I gave him gloomy and creative because those are his, like, things. He's an artist, and he's damaged. His dad's obviously a huge asshole. Classic storyline. Because, you know, all blue-collar dads are terrible people. That's what we learned from the CW. So that was not a creative choice on their part. But I do like that he has that backstory of, like, he wants to be, like, kind of... He wants to be left alone in a way, but he also wants so desperately to be, like, seen and accepted and loved. So I'm kind of fond, now that I'm talking about it, I'm, like, kind of fond of Harvey. Like, I kind of think that he's sweet, but he's the character in this lineup that I'm the least interested in. Mostly because I was so annoyed by the Roz and Harvey thing in season 2. It's not that I don't think that I don't think that them getting together was super convincing. I was pulling for Theo and Roz. I still am. I will be forever. But that didn't happen. So fuck me, I guess. So Harvey just needs to, like, not have a girlfriend and, like, go to therapy, I think, is the thing. I want him to, like, go get his art degree, like, draw sick cartoons based on his childhood, and then they get published and they turn into Sabrina comics, and, you know, time is a flat circle, whatever. But I don't know. I think the episode where I liked him the most in season 2 was the episode where the fortune teller, who is secretly Michelle Gomez, Lilith, that's her name. Haha. So the episode where Lilith, like, disguises herself as a fortune teller and shows everybody, like, the consequences of their actions, and you're still not sure, like, if she's telling them the right things or if she's just telling them what she wants them to think so that she can manipulate them. It's kind of implied that it's the second part, but also, like, she partially just, like, gives people the truth about themselves and, like, lets them fuck it up. I don't know. So, Harvey, really easy to dress. All his clothing, his entire outfit, actually, is base game, and I left him with his base game hair, because he just looks... Let's be real here, he already looks like a sim. He just does. I know that his face isn't amazing, but again, like, I just couldn't... I was tired at this point. I was so tired, I wanted to be done with this video. Sue me. But I did have kind of a good time, I don't know, revisiting the way that he dresses. He's kind of a fun, like, basic guy. I don't know what else to say about Harvey. The episode where he's, like, getting his fortune told and he, like, pictures himself in this artist colony and he's so happy to be there and, like, be around other artists, and then that guy is, like, staring into the abyss. That was my favorite Harvey episode of the season, because it was where, like, he gets to go really dark. In the first season, he acts as kind of this, like, pure angel boy that he's, like, the one on the other side of the scale from Sabrina's, like, witchy tendencies. And they do have kind of a sweet relationship. And so you're rooting for them to stay together, but you also know that if Sabrina's going to be, like, this all-powerful witch lady, Harvey can't handle that. And the end of season 1, when he's like, no, I've got a gun, I'm going to protect my house, god damn it. As much as I don't love the storylines that are just like, I got a gun though, so it's fine, that was pretty sick. And I think that was, like, perfectly Harvey. He's just so stubborn. But yeah, I don't know. Harvey, he's cute. He was easy to dress him. Like, The Sims gave me a lot of Harvey clothes, and I appreciate that. Thanks, Strangerville Jacket. He would not have been complete without you. Okay, Roz. Roz is one of my absolute favorites. Like, if maybe my favorites go, like, Ambrose, Zelda, Roz? No, because Prudence. Shit. I think it might go, because Prudence is my favorite, like, tip-top. And then maybe Zelda, Ambrose, and then Roz. I don't know. But Roz is great. She's one of the characters that... I think Roz keeps the show very grounded. Like, she still has that superhero, you know, she can, like, see the future or like sense the future or whatever. Didn't love what they did in season 2 where they were just like, never mind, like disability has been written off for like vague plot reasons. Ta-da, you know, like that kind of irked me. I understand why they did it for the plot. Like, I get the plot reasons that worked, but I still think it was a little shitty of them to like have her genuinely struggle with like a new disability and then just write it off and be like, yay, Sabrina, you know, I don't know. And now she like doesn't have the glasses, so she's like hot or whatever. It was like a whole thing. Obviously the actress has always been just like an absolute stunner. Like, boy, let me tell you, when I was looking at reference pictures for her face without the giant glasses, like, she's stunning. But yeah, so Roz got a little bit of that like that Pat teen girl storyline where it's like, suddenly I'm prettier, but not for reasons of me wanting to be prettier, just because like, just plot, like it's necessary for the plot that suddenly I'm like more conventionally good looking now. That she got a little shade of that, and that was annoying, and I really think that they just kind of shoehorned the whole Harvey Roz thing. Clearly the better base for a relationship is Roz and Theo, but I'm not mad, don't worry about me. Yeah, she's just, but like, she does keep the show grounded, and she is very, like, she's the most sensible one, I think, of all of them. Like, she's the most, like, I like to call Theo 2 brain cells and a sense of adventure Putnam, because that's really, like, that's what he's running on. Harvey is so stubborn. He's, like, often misguided because of his, like, own feelings about Sabrina and about the witch world and all those things. You know, Zelda and Hilda and Sabrina all have that, like, power hunger. And then Ambrose, I think Ambrose has pretty good judgment, but he's usually, like, consumed in his storyline off on the side. But Roz acts as this, like, really nice voice of, like, what the hell did you just do? That's so kind of horrifying and creepy. And, like, you know, she's the one that will, if she thinks that Sabrina has overstepped, like, Sabrina has overstepped. You know that. She's always the first one to be like, what's wrong with you? Like, why would you think that's something I wanted? Kind of thing. She's delightful. I just would die for Roz Walker, 10 out of 10. Oh, wait, I forgot that Theo's on my favorite list, too. God damn it. Whatever. I don't need to have an order. Just know that I love so many characters. Yeah, and then Roz, I really like her kind of relationship to her dad, I think is kind of interesting. Like, she says in season 2, like, I believe in God, but I don't think I believe in my dad as, like, a pastor. Like, I thought that was a really interesting, like, conviction kind of to have her have. And I don't know, she's just, it makes sense that she is, like, the best friend that Sabrina has as, you know, trying to be, like, human and normal and, like, pure angel baby. It makes sense that Roz is, like, the best friend that she has, because Roz, I think, like, in their original dynamic would have been the friend that was a little bit more like, well, I don't know, like, maybe, like, why are you being so nice to that person? Like, I think that she would have been, like, that, like, grounding note to Sabrina's, like, sugary sweetness kind of in the very beginning of the series, and I love that. Complicated female friendships, and their relationship stays complicated in season 2, which I liked. There were some parts where it was like, like, we'll insert Roz as, like, vague friend, like, vague female friend that just gives, like, girl advice, which was, like, I guess, you know, that's kind of fine. Again, hated that they were just like, what's Roz's storyline going to be this season? Date Harvey. Boring. I'm bored. But, I liked her, like, emotional arc this season. I thought it was good. I really loved her emotional arc last season also. I think that season 1 was better, but I don't make TV. I just make Sims, and I write papers, so I don't really have a leg to stand on here. But yeah, Roz's glasses as always are one of the Sims blind spots. Blind spots. That's not funny, but it's fine. Okay, I gave her the writer aspiration because that's kind of what she seems like to me is her, I think she would be a good academic. Like, I think that that's Roz's ultimate calling, kind of. So writer, and then book smart. Again, that's what she has in common with Sabrina, and then she's good, because she is. Like, she's just such a, like, level-headed, reasonable, like, no, this is the right thing to do kind of person. Which isn't to say that she's, like, a stick in the mud, because she is often, like, the person that she's, like, the, I guess I'll get your asses out of trouble, like, when she, goes down to the cave with Theo and Harvey. So she's very, like, I don't know, she's really good. But they didn't give her enough storyline this second season, I don't think. But yeah, and she's gorgeous. Like, it was really fun to make her. I gave her, again, for the party dress, I gave her, like, the dress from the school dance where she walks in and both Theo and Harvey are like, holy shit, she's hot, kind of thing. Like, I'm still a sucker. The like, 13-year-old in me is still kind of a sucker for those, like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty when she's, like, all dressed up like that moments. But again, that was another thing that did charm me about, again, this is proof that Roz and Harvey are not enjoyable to me at all. My favorite part of that whole dynamic is when Theo would just, like, sit across the table from them and be like, ugh, like, couples kind of a thing. I choose to read that as Theo being in love with Roz. Your mileage may vary. But anyway, I always want her to have, like, more screen time and more, like, plot mileage than she has. And she does have, like, the way that her hair is really voluminous and, like, bouncy and curly, I think balances out her face in some way, like, she has, like, a solid jaw and her face is kind of square like that, and I really love the way that it looks with her hair, like, having a lot of height, so it was hard to find a good hairstyle for her to have for the dance. So I gave her something that's not actually that curly. Sorry about that. I just wanted her to have, like, a fancy hairstyle. So, yeah, I ended up with that one, I think, because she does have the tendrils, and the tendrils are important. But, yeah, so I think if I had to pick a character that was, like, done the dirtiest by the plot, it would probably be Roz. And she brings in, like, that great, like, those, whenever she's in the doctor's office, I think that's one of my favorite, like, sets that they have. One of my favorite, like, moments that they keep returning to is, like, her in this incredibly creepy, like, series of unfortunate events style doctor's office. Amazing. Perfect. Wonderful. So, I don't know what else to say about Roz, but she is great, and I do love her. And I dressed her, she doesn't really have a super consistent color palette, but she does have a really consistent dress sense, I think. So I gave her a lot of purple. I kept her in the glasses. I know that she loses the glasses by the end of season 2, but to me, like, classic Roz has the glasses, so I left her with the glasses. And yeah, I don't know, she's just so cute and good. She's the best. I think, yeah, she's like that human note that you keep coming back to in this show, and I love that a lot. But, yeah. Water break. Wow, this is really a long voiceover. Oh my god. What else can I say about this season? Theo. Okay, so last season, obviously, we were introduced to this character as Susie, but he's a boy, so Theo. I did think they, obviously, like, I am not a trans dude, so I cannot necessarily say how all the storyline was handled, but I do appreciate that they hired, like, a gender non-conforming person to play this character. So the actor's name is, I don't remember either, but the actor's non-binary, which is cool. Like, they did not just cast, like, a cis girl to play a trans guy character, which one of my biggest pet peeves, because there are, like, great trans actors and you can just go hire them. They're amazing and they're great and they would like the work, probably, but no, we gotta just, I don't even know. I don't know. Why people cast that way, and it's not great. So I do appreciate that they cast, like, a gender non-conforming person to play Theo. That's good. The storyline itself, I think it's good in the sense that it's very grounded in, like, his own experience and what he wants. It's never, like, there is some kind of, at the beginning of season 1, there's a little bit of that, like, queer bashing trope to have, like, Sabrina be able to come in and save the day. That doesn't bother me so much in terms of, like, Sabrina came in and saved the day not to show that she's, like, the straight ally that's, like, gonna fix everything, but to show that she likes to be the person who swoops in and saves the day, even though, like, you can kind of see that Theo's not completely comfortable with it most of the time. But yeah, and I love, like, Theo and Roz are just, they have a good friendship. They have a good connection. I love them. I gave him, like, the Renaissance sim trait, I think, just because I don't really, like, it was hard to sum up, like, Theo's main what I want in a Sims aspiration, you know, because I think a lot of his what I want is to, like, come into his own and be able to be himself and, like, trust himself and follow his instincts, kind of. But that's not a Sims aspiration that you can do. So I gave him the Renaissance Sim aspiration because it seems like something where he wants to be able to, like, fix things and be useful and, like, take action when he sees something that he doesn't like, that kind of thing. Like, he's very, like, fix-it oriented, which I think is interesting. Self-assured trait, because I think he does have that, like, again, he has, like, a very strong sense of self, and he wants to be able to, like, trust his instincts and do what he thinks is right and that kind of thing. So I gave him the self-assured trait because it seemed right, and then active because he's just, again, Theo, 2 brain cells and a sense of adventure. Putnam, great guy. Yeah, the actress really just has a great face that's fun to look at. They remind me of, some Viner, I forget, but they have a good face, and I enjoyed making them. I appreciate the gender patch from a couple years back as much as anybody. Well, not as much as anybody. I'm sure there are some people that are more appreciative of it, but it does still definitely have its flaws in that just kind of the way that the body morphs end up are real weird. Like, nothing quite, like, the clothes don't quite work the same way that they do on, like, the in, like, the original pairings of, like, the feminine gender choices to, like, the female frame, whatever. So, again, thanks for the gender patch. I think it's great. Please don't get rid of it, but it does have its flaws. One of those being, I think, okay, this is a pet peeve that I have discovered, because I've made recently a couple of trans guy characters in The Sims, and the neck always just stays so ridiculously skinny, and I don't know what it is, like, what in The Sims made them decide, like, if you're, like, assigned female at birth, you must have this tiny skinny neck. Like, what is the deal with that? I just don't. I kind of wish that there were more ways to customize your sim, like, without the gender boundaries whatsoever. Like, if you could just check off, like, features that you do want them to have and you don't want them to have, and then you could just kind of use the sliders and the morphs, like, on your own. But whatever. So I dressed Theo like he dresses in season 2, because I didn't want to, like, you know, make, like, a dead name character that doesn't feel good or right. So I dressed him like he dresses in season 2, which is a lot of just, like, basic boy clothes like Harvey. A lot of, I don't know, jean jackets and hoodies and big sweatshirts and stuff like that. One thing that The Sims never provides for me, which I know is just a product of the style, is baggy clothes. Like, Theo's kind of a baggy clothes guy, and they just don't have that in The Sims. They have, like, one big sweater, I think. I don't know why I put that golden jacket on. It's fine. But he does wear little suspenders at one point, which is really cute. But yeah, so I dressed him like he's going to the dance. I did, like, the way that the Riverdale, because I saw the first season of Riverdale, right? And so, to me, like, the most Riverdale-y notes kind of came through in, like, Theo's storyline, where it's, like, sports, like, you know, like, bonding with your teammates or whatever. Like, that kind of got sidelined a little bit, which is fine. Like, I don't really care about the basketball boys, but, like, they made a serious emotional note out of that in the dance episode, and it just wasn't quite, I don't think they didn't give him enough build up for that. So it was, like, as much as I wanted to like that moment where the basketball dude came up and was like, I'm sorry, it was a dick, whatever, and I did like that moment a lot, but I think I could have liked it more if they gave Theo more screen time. Not saying that Harvey's whole storyline bored me, but it did, and we should have gotten more Roz and Theo. You get to see me take screenshots, which you'll never see those screenshots. But okay, so we're kind of getting into the realm of this custom content part. Oh yeah, I went back, I fixed their outfits a couple times based on, again, the impossible to get good screenshots. So I kind of fiddled a lot to, like, try and make them match how they look in the show. But if you download them and play with them, they're gonna look a lot brighter and happier. Yeah, Theo's got a great, like, little square head. Once you put the freckles and the square jaw on Theo, like, you're great, you're perfect. Thing that did annoy me, though, you get to watch me type this. I'm so sorry. I did not edit this well at all. The thing that I did really love about Theo is the like, dimple in his chin just gets me, and I think it's amazing and great, and it makes Theo so Theo-y, but the default skin that I used erased it, and I tried to get a chin dimple, like, custom content thing, and I got one. I found one, but it doesn't work on teens. It only works on adults, and, like, who makes that? Who makes a skin detail custom content that doesn't work on teens? Like, why would you do that to me? So Sabrina, I spent a long time looking for dress options for her, found a couple cute ones, and ended up liking 2 of them so much that she just has 2 main outfits. Sorry about that in advance. I don't know what to tell you. But she has this one, which matches the thumbnail, because I really wanted to make a good thumbnail for this. But then she has another one, which I think matches a little bit more of, like, how she dresses, like when she goes to human school and stuff. But this hair is the reason, actually, that I was like, maybe I will use CC in my things, because this hair was made specifically to, like, match Sabrina by, I don't remember how to say their Tumblr username, but there is a CC creator on Tumblr that makes really fantastic hairs, and that is kind of famous for that. So that was kind of my initial, maybe I should just use a little bit of CC here and there. So, okay, my philosophy here is I will use CC. Makeup, I ended up adding the custom content makeup to all their outfits just because A, it looked better, and B, like, if you download them and you have that makeup in your game, like, if you specifically download that makeup, then, like, who cares? So the makeup is kind of custom content across the board. If I used a piece of custom content somewhere else in the household, I would add it to, like, one of the not main outfits for that character. I know I'm not making any sense, but my basic rule is that I will try and make, like, a super crazy accurate custom content version of, like, their main outfit. So I'll try and match it perfectly with their main outfit. But I did not want to find a bunch of CC for all their other outfits, and I know that you do not want to download a bunch of CC. So all the rest of their outfits mainly stay, like, just Sims content, like Max's content. So there's that. There are 2 versions of them on the gallery. One has all the CC enabled. Obviously, you'll be able to tell the difference. One has a bunch of CC, and one is no CC. So if you do want to go download the custom content that I use to make these Sims, and you want to, like, install in your game so that they can look exactly the way that they're supposed to look, I'm going to try and make, I think, a Tumblr post that has, like, all the information for all of them. But where was I going with this? But yeah, so they're not that CC heavy. I'm not trying to become, like, an all CC channel, because that would be so much work for both of us. But I do think that I'm going to try and match, like, really important details, like the hair. I hate everything that comes with the Sims makeup, so just their makeup is going to be CC. If they have a distinct hairstyle, custom content, and then if there's something just, like, essential missing, so, like, Roz's glasses are CC, because we have nothing like that in the game. I made, like, a David from Druck. I don't know if nobody watches that. It's a German TV show. David's a great character. You should watch it. But he has a nose ring, so I downloaded a nose ring just for him. So I think that's, like, what we're going for. I will use my personal CC collection, and I will specifically go and download, like, CC of just elements that they really need, like Roz's glasses and stuff like that. I will go forth and find those on the internet and download them, but doing that takes a lot of time, so I'm only going to do that for, like, a few pieces per household. Hopefully that made some sense. I looked for a CC outfit that would work for Hilda, but people generally, she wears a lot of, like, matronly kind of dresses and things, like, she looks like a house mom, and people don't really make a lot of CC like that, unfortunately. There's the most common CC, I'm pretty sure, is, like, young female hairstyles and dresses. Like, that's it, which, I mean, I also love that type of custom content, so I'm not complaining. But this is one of those cases where I was not going to go out and, like, spend forever looking for, like, a better match for her dress. These eyelashes, everybody uses these frickin' eyelashes. I'm going to use them. They're easy to find. I'll try and include them in the Tumblr post. You get it. Basically, we are now a CC household, but only a little bit. if that makes sense. So if this like type and level of CC works for you, please let me know. If there's something that you'd like to see differently, also let me know. I'm really not going to go through and like make a ton of CC heavy sims, especially with bigger households. Like this took me, I mean, I don't even want to know how long it took. Like I ended up with 12 hours of footage. So this is sped up a hell of a lot. And I also spent several hours like online looking for the right custom content. Takes forever. So we're not going to suddenly go full CC, but when there is something important that would work better as custom content, I will go find it. I promise. Kind of. Sometimes I can't find things. And we're not going to get into alpha CC in this household. I know that the 3D eyelashes are kind of alpha-y, so fight me on that one, I guess, but anyway, the CC version is already available on the gallery, and as soon as I'm done editing this video while it's uploading, I'm going to kind of try and track down links to all the CC I used for these characters and make a Tumblr post of that, and then I'll link my Sims Tumblr in the description, I guess. And this is one thing. I know that she doesn't actually have like bright orange hair in real life or when she's filming Sabrina, but it just made her look more Zelda-y to have the bright orange hair than to have hair that was more accurate to her natural tone. Because we don't have a good strawberry blonde. And even this is the Wildly Miniature Sandwich palette, which is my favorite. Just because it's just so much good variety, and I just love that palette a lot. So I'm using that for all their hairs and things. But there's nothing in there that exactly matched her hair color, and so I just left it that like orange because it just looks so Zelda-y, you know? And then, yeah, so this dress, Zelda-y, I got her. CC shoes obviously are a vast improvement. I know that those can get kind of alpha-y sometimes, but again, I'm really trying to stay Maxis Match because like that's my vibe. Weird thing about this, if you put that hat on with like the little veil, it makes her eyes really dark. Don't know why. That happens in like without any custom content in the game whatsoever. That still happens. So who knows? So yeah, I'm adding like the custom content makeup and stuff like that in on her other outfits, just because if you download the CC household and you get the CC for her first outfit, you might as well have good makeup in her other outfits. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, so this is kind of how I'm going to try and go about things now. A little bit of CC where it's necessary, but generally not a ton, mostly because my laptop can't handle that much and because I, time-wise, cannot handle that. I'm in school. I have a job, which is also school, but, like, I'm busy. I'm not trying to become, like, crazy super-duper accurate. Other people are better at that than me, and I will let them be better. But with, like, skin details and stuff that and, like, add to things, like, Ambrose has, like, giant eye bags, and that's part of how his face looks. So he have giant eye bags. I used CC hair because just the way that The Sims makes, like, black hair textures, and then, like, with the way that The Sims, like, colors their hair, it really, anytime you have, like, a character with a, like, textured hair and the black swatch of that hair, it always looks, like, horrifying. You guys know what I'm talking about. It looks like blue. Not cute. Because, like, I know that that's a thing in real life. Like, people have hair that's, like, really dark black with, like, a blue kind of cast to it, but it doesn't look like that, you know? So, he has CC hair. I tried out a little bit of eyeliner on him, but it didn't really work. Harvey, literally, so I downloaded this flannel shirt for him, and then I, like, the original swatch from The Sims matched his picture better, so he just really, I'm looking at him now, and he doesn't look that Harvey-ish, but we do what we can with what we have. So, your tasks, I have 3 minutes left in this voiceover, and I'm gonna die, probably. But hey, we're getting it all in one take. That's a lie. I started, like, 3 takes before this, but it's fine. God, this voiceover's a mess. So, I ended up leaving him, like, completely Maxis Match. Like, you could just, I think I gave him, like, a lip color because his lips were just like looked really weird and pale. Okay, Roz, I got her better hair because The Sims has been improving lately, but they're still not great on having like good, like a broad variety of black hair with good textures and everything like that. So obviously custom content hair, custom content glasses, and then a shirt. But see, like, this is what I'm talking about. We're not trying to go like overboard at the CC because I just don't feel like looking for that much. And you don't feel like downloading that much. Plus you're going to see them in their main outfit most of the time. So fuck it. Yeah. I don't know. Look how cute she is with her little correct glasses. Actually, though, this is one instance of real life being more ridiculous than The Sims. The glasses they put her in are so giant. Like, it's like the actress herself doesn't have like a small face or anything. Like, she's got like a normal person size head. But then the glasses that they put her in are just like, wow, they do a lot. I couldn't find glasses that were that big and like decently Maxis match. I just couldn't find them. So one of the very few flaws of the 3D eyelashes, because again, I love the 3D eyelashes. Please never stop updating them. They bring me so much joy. But there's not a whole lot of good choices for like super subtle eyelashes. And Theo doesn't really, he's a pale white dude. He doesn't have like thick eyelashes, but him kind of does. And then, yeah, just get him that good jean jacket. This is actually based completely off of his outfit in that scene where they fix, like, Sabrina makes Roz not blind. Because again, it's so hard to get good screenshots and to like tell what they're wearing. And now you get to watch me screenshot again. But what is happening? Oh yeah, I was trying to figure out if it was like, because some custom content, this is my plea to custom content makers, please try and make your content, like especially skin details and stuff like that, available for like gender non-conforming Sims. So when I'm trying to make like a trans Sim, a lot of the time, I can only use like the Maxis content because they have enabled it for like different frames and different genders. And custom content creators often don't do that. Like I won't be able to use, it's like a hair that I could use on a male or a female Sim, but I can't use it on a Sim with a female frame, but like male clothing preference. Like that's not a thing that they like. It's weird. Yeah. Well, here's my screenshots. I know we've been on a long journey together. I appreciate you. I hope you appreciate you. And I will see you all next time.